Greek mythology there is huge, but they're also extremely Catholic. And for me, I was like, the duality, right? They believe in these myths. They have cities founded on the goddess of Athena, the goddess of Nike, but yet they also still truly deeply believe in the religious roots and aspects of their culture.
Well, welcome back to Let Me Walk You Out, a podcast on navigating young adulthood, self-growth, alignment, and anything and everything in between.
Amen.
We're your hosts. I'm Kyndall.
I'm Stephanie.
And we're so excited to be back.
Yay! It feels like it's been so long.
It always feels like it's been too long.
But for y'all, it's only been a week.
Right. For us, we're like, girl, I haven't seen you in so long.
Yeah,
like,
but
we're always up under each other.
No, seriously.
I don't know. I always miss when I'm not recording. This has become like such a
ritual,
fun,
yeah, kind of just something like a release almost, because it feels like I just get to kiki for like a cool day, because it takes a minute.
It does take a minute. It does take a minute.
Because we talking before we record, while we're recording, after we record.
Like, it's a lot of talking,
yeah,
but I wouldn't want to do it with anyone else.
Literally same, girl. Literally same.
Yeah, well.
Awesome.
Let's just jump into our highs and lows for the week.
Yeah.
So I'll let you go first.
Okay. Yeah, we'll start with highs. So my high for this week was we officially launched Let Me Walk You Out on all platforms. Like, it feels so crazy to say, but it's real. It's there. It's live. And people are consuming. So it just is like so weird.
I know.
It feels good.
It's been such a good feeling.
Yeah.
I've been loving like the positive feedback,
Same.
even the constructive criticism.
Yeah.
I'm
and
like,
those first
y'all.
couple episodes, we know. We know. Some of the criticism was like, oh, baby, we actually heard those first two episodes like maybe 50 times.
Yeah, because it was just so much going back, editing, figuring it out.
Yeah.
Like, we had so much to learn about podcast editing, how to upload, how to basically just build a podcast from scratch.
Yeah.
And yeah, we were so excited to edit the third episode because
finally
like, new content.
It was so fresh to us. It was so fresh. Like,
I promise you, I could recite the first two episodes backwards, like back to back at this point.
And man,
but yeah, I understand now when artists are like, "Oh, I put out a song," and you love making music, but you might be tired of hearing that one song because you have to go back and like stack harmonies,
about the bridge,
and worry about that. And by the time you've rewinded it like 50 times to make it perfect, you don't even. You're like, I'm tired of this song.
I'm tired,
like,
baby.
So,
like, not even trying to do it no more.
I think those first two episodes for me, when I revisit like in a year, I'll be like, oh, this is so fresh,
so refreshing.
Right now, that's in y'all's hands.
Yeah, I'm gonna let y'all enjoy
and
that.
And we're gonna leave it there.
For real. But it definitely feels really good to have our content out there and to finally have something that we've been talking about for so long be real.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
That's my high.
Well, I love it, girl. That's also a high for me as well. Yeah. And my high is that my dad got married.
Oh yeah! Congratulations.
My dad got married, so congratulations to him and his wife. Which sounds crazy to say. Like the first couple times I said it, it just didn't
really roll off the tongue
like,
just
wow,
yet.
Yeah, but it's his wife. Yeah. You know, the ceremony was gorgeous.
Yeah.
And it had all of our family and friends. And I knew I was going to be emotional, you know?
Yeah.
But it just was crazy because it felt like I was like just seeing my dad grow up, even though he's fully grown. But it was just like, wow, like you're just entering a new chapter. You look so happy. So naturally I was like, you know, I'm having a little tear here and there. And, you know, my uncle, he said he listens to our podcast. So if you're listening, he was teasing me. He was like, you finna cry? You finna cry? He's a jokester. And I'm like, yes, I'm finna cry. Yes, I'm finna cry. I'm not too gangster.
Why you ain't crying?
Why you not crying?
Exactly.
But yeah, it was just good overall to like catch up with my family too, see them all, meet some of her folks, like some of her extended family. And right after they set off to California. They said, we're going on our honeymoon.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that was my high.
Congratulations to them. I'm so happy for them.
Yeah, me too.
Oh my gosh. It's like, it feels like a life chapter is just like closed technically for you, but like opening for them.
Exactly. Like,
So
this is the beginning of the rest of their lives. And I
yeah.
think that's so beautiful. I just love
Stop. Marriage
love,
is like, yeah, it's
you
like one of
know,
those things. It's just like so.
it's just like, especially when you know it's right.
Yeah.
And with them, like, I knew, and I
Mhm.
could just tell how my dad was speaking about her before I had even met her. And he was like, I want to tell you, I have someone new in my life, you know, but everything that he was saying, it just, you could just see in the energy
Yeah.
where it was
Where it was
going. It was
going.
kind of undeniable. And I think
Mhm.
that's how everyone should feel about who they're with. Like,
Yeah.
everyone deserves to have that. And so, because it's my dad, it just felt like just such a good feeling, you
Yeah.
know? Such a
Oh.
good feeling.
Once again, I'm so happy for
Yeah.
them. Oh my god, I'm like over here blushing. It's not even me.
It's not even me.
I just love, like you said.
Right.
It just makes me happy to see people happy. So
Yeah.
well, we can dip into the lies, not the lies, the lows that we want to turn
baby.
into highs.
Right.
Maybe that's why I thought or said that. But my low is that I've been working on establishing less screen time. So I'm really trying to do better with that because I just feel even like during my workday, like I don't allow myself to open up social media before 12 p.m. But sometimes as soon as that 12 p.m. mark hits, I'm I'm
You
right on
ready.
there, like I'm looking at some, oh, it's 12:04. Okay, I can go on social media, but then the next 30 minutes, 45 minutes, I'm just scrolling, scrolling, scrolling. And then, my time limit expires. And then by the time 4 p.m. rolls around, I want to get back on. So I'm just trying to do better about setting those boundaries. I feel like it's harder for me being that I work on social media. So, like, I'm always on a social media page, whether it's my brand, whether it's a brand that I work with, a brand that I manage. So I'm just trying to find a healthy balance there. But that was my low, and I think I wrote that in my journal several times. Like, we need to get off the phone. Like, the phone is distracting you from getting your work done in your 9 to 5, as well as everything that you do outside of that. So that is like a little bit of a low that I'm working on, just being tighter with those boundaries for myself, just so that I could be more productive during the actual day. And if I do want to get on social media, I'm allowing myself to have that time, but finding a really good healthy balance. So I'm not spending, like, if I allow myself 30 minutes a day, it's not 30 minutes in one sitting.
Yeah.
So that's my low.
Yeah. It's a low for everyone. You're not alone in trying to control that screen time.
Yeah, girl.
Yeah, that's the thing for me too. I have mine also opens up at noon. I don't really have like a set time limit. It just opens from like 12 to now it's like 8 p.m. I kind of try to do it with like the sun. So when the sun goes down, I don't want to be on there. But
Valid.
I find myself ignoring that all the time.
Girl.
Like, sometimes if I wake up and I really just want to see what's going on, I'll hit ignore and just don't care.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what's the point then of these boundaries if I'm not even holding myself accountable? But yeah, I feel you there. So I think my low would just be, I mentioned my dad getting married, but in a way, I'm just dealing with a lot of change. And I think it's not necessarily a low because I was kind of struggling to find a true low.
Yeah.
But I've noticed that trying to figure out how to deal with my family changing, my life changing, just continuing to grow into like young adulthood as we talked about before has been just, I'm not sure if I'm as good with change as I would hope to be. So I just found myself getting really sentimental and I'm very attached to my dad. I'm very attached to how my life currently is set up now because I've you just get used to your surroundings, and then to see it kind of, they're moving into their house, they're moving on into doing their life.
Right.
Not that I won't be a part of it, but it looks different than what it did now. And I think that I just had, I had quiet moments to myself, I was just like, just emotional. Like, I'm a crier, so I just cry, and I just think about how I'm feeling and I just cry and I let it out.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say it's a bad thing because it's a normal thing, but it has made me also just, on the flip side of being so excited about everything going on, I've also just been like, wow, like, this is maybe the last time I'll ever like live with my dad. This is the last time. Like, the list goes on.
It goes on. It's like spiraling.
Yeah. So
I feel you.
That was my low for the week.
Yeah, change it feels inevitable, but it's always so hard to adapt to.
Yeah.
Especially, I feel like you just love this era of like living with him, like coming home to that, and then now you got used to it. It felt like you got used to it. And then as soon as you start getting used to something, it's
time
when
to
things
switch it
start
up.
to change.
But that's life. You gotta just,
is.
cause genuinely, even a year ago, if you had told me like, okay, this time next year your dad will be married, I'd been like, really?
Bye. Like,
are you really?
Sure? Like,
you know, so
what
it's
are you predicting
crazy.
from? Like,
it's crazy how life happens and unfolds in very beautiful ways.
Yeah.
But you just always have to be prepared to go with the flow.
You do.
You know, the only thing you can control is yourself and how you react and how you respond. So
yeah, that's very true. That's very true. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, it low-key turns into a high for you because now you are moving on to a new chapter. Yes. We'll get into that later, though. I was like, you know what?
I was like, girl, because you know I wrote that down as like the high for.
I know. So I was like, you know what? We gonna get into that later. We're not even gonna talk about that right now. For real. Y'all tune into next week's episode and know what we're talking about. Anyway, so cool. All right, well, that was highs and lows, and we'll go ahead and move on to Black Business of the Week. And this week's Black Business is In the Bowl. Sorry, it just makes me laugh. I feel like the name is like really funny, but In the Bowl is a Black-owned smoothie, acai shop, superfood, you know, all that good stuff located on the south side of town, right over there by Georgia State, Pryor Street, in that area. Now, y'all, if you love acai bowls, if you're a playa bowls girl, I want you to go check out In the Bowl. So I visited In the Bowl. It's just so funny to keep saying In the Bowl. I'm so sorry. It's really making me laugh. Like, I visited this business not too long ago, but when I tell you, you get a bowl, okay? It is a big bowl, and it is like your typical acai shop, but it is Black owned, so I really appreciated that. And they had so many options. They had like Nutella, of course, honey, cookie butter, which not a lot of acai shops have cookie butter.
I've never had cookie butter in
Cookie butter in your bowl is actually so good. Fire. Now let's be real, y'all. We know acai bowls is quote unquote healthy, but we can put a whole bunch of stuff
too. I was like, now I'm defeating the purpose of getting fruit in this bowl.
Because you putting that Lotus cookie butter on top. Chef's kiss, so good. But for real though, summertime is upon us, and so I wanted to give y'all one of those cool little shops where you can switch it up a little bit and get you an acai bowl. Maybe you're in the mood for a smoothie. They might do salads and stuff like that. But definitely check it out. I'll have their Instagram in the description below. You can check it out if you're going on a walk for the Beltline. Maybe you're checking out a local park and you just want something refreshing after. I am a big acai bowl person. I rarely ever leave anything in that bowl, not even a piece of fruit. Sometimes not even a stem, okay? Like the bowl is clean.
Maybe you don't even leave the bowl itself.
Maybe I just eat the bowl. If y'all ever made an acai bowl that was edible, I would eat the bowl. Like, I'm so serious. Maybe we should work on that.
Yeah, keep that on the low, because that's our business idea.
You know what?
Now.
Maybe cut it. Yeah. Cut it. But for real, like, I'm gonna go ahead and leave the description, address, all that stuff in the description below so that you can check that out. But summertime is upon us, you know, so this is the time. Have fun, you know, experiment with different things, check out your local Black businesses and support. But don't all go at once, please, because this is a really nice spot. And so just be prepared for a wait because it's made fresh, but you'd like it. Trust me, because I'm an acai girl person. I literally have some acai in the freezer right now. I make these for fun. So you should check it out. And yeah,
it sounds yummy.
It's very yummy.
Yeah,
very yummy. All right, well, as you can tell by the title, our topic of the week, we're going to be talking about our values. Yes. And we're going to be talking about it through a quiz called the Values Bridge. And so this is kind of how we kind of got started on this topic a little bit. I was listening to, once again, scrolling on social media, as I do. But I was on my other page, so it was more of a productive scroll because on my diaries page, I try and only follow people who I feel like motivated by. So I was on my diaries page this time. Mm-hmm. I wasn't on my main where I get all the dog videos. And nonsense.
Right. Like, yeah, this was like more focused.
Exactly. And one of the creators that I follow, she was talking about the Values Bridge and how really understanding her values has helped her craft her life in a more intentional way. And so I said, this is very interesting. It's like you think you know what your values are, and you probably do know what your values are, but sometimes it's really fun to take a little quiz to see, okay, how is it actually laid out? Like, in what order and what priority do I need to be focusing on certain things? And so I ended up taking the quiz. And then I sent it straight to Kyndall as soon as I was done, as I do every time I do anything that's personal development, anything that's protein, anything that's fiber.
She does.
I send it straight to her. I'm like, girl, check this out. Girl, check this out. You might hate it, you might love it, but just do it, you know? So I did that, and she took it as well, and she really liked it. And we were talking about it in our last episode, but we decided let's just make this a full episode because we can really talk a lot about our values and how that has really helped craft the life that we are looking to live, not just the life that we live now, because of course there's going to be some gaps in what we really truly want to see, being, you know, we're really only 24, 25 years old. So in our ideal world, we're living our perfect life right now, but you know, we're not living in an ideal world, we're living in reality. So we're going to talk about that today, and we could just go ahead and jump into it. But I will let you know the link to the quiz is in the description. So this entire time we're talking, you can do this yourself. I encourage you to do that because it was just very eye-opening for me. It's like something that I knew about myself, a lot of the things, but it was just cool to see it laid out and see definitions and stuff like that. So it's in the description, and you can take this yourself. You can take it now, you could pause and then come back. You could take it in your own time. Whatever you do, the resource is there for you, baby. So let's get into it. Period.
I'm gonna be on my my laptop over here on the side.
As you should.
Just so you know.
No, you're good. I wanted
to be able to pull up my results.
Yeah, I wrote my top 4 down because the quiz gives you, like, the free version at least gives you the top 4. You can pay to unlock the rest.
Yeah, there's 16 in total. And you can pay to unlock the rest, but for these purposes, we'll just talk about
focus on 4. So for both of us, I guess we'll just name.
I think, list out what your top 4 was.
My top 4?
Yeah.
Okay. So my top 4, my first one was affluence. My second one was achievement, and that was tied. 2 and 3 were tied. So my second one was achievement, and my third one was cosmos, and then my fourth one was radius. And we can get into definitions in a second. Like, I want you to say yours, and then we'll kind of like break them down.
Define it. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. So I guess this means my first 3 were tied, and this is fourth.
Yeah.
Okay. So tied for first, I guess, was eudaimonia, beholderism, cosmos, and the fourth, family centrism. So I guess break us down, Steph. What do yours mean? Because I don't even think I know, like, even what radius means.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, okay.
Some of the terms are a little out there. But they do provide definitions.
They do, and the definitions are really great, and they break it down. And then, of course, you can take that, go to Google, ChatGPT, do whatever you got to do to really understand it a little bit more. But for me, I'm not going to lie, this wasn't really a surprise to me. Like, a lot of mine were like, oh, okay. Yeah, that's
me.
And it feels good because then you can walk in your truth, right? So affluence for me was financial freedom, and just having not just financial freedom, but just like literally not having to worry about a single thing financially, being able to be in those circles and fit in high society things and not feel like it's one of those things that people look down upon. Like, I'm in my circle and I'm confident in my circle. I am living a life and building a life that definitely requires a lot of financial undertaking, but I've worked hard to get to that point, and I'm very confident in that. So affluence is really important to me, and it honestly made sense just because of how I kind of grew up past middle school. I would say, like, my high school years were pretty transformative to me. I talk about your inner teen all the time. Like, we talk about inner child, but I also believe that there is like an inner teen in you that's kind of guiding your decisions. And I think the inner teen is me is guiding the affluence that I'm really trying to create in my life, just because of how that environment kind of shaped me. And then 2, you want me to talk about 2, or do you want to talk about your number 1 first? Well, I guess you got 3 number 1s technically.
That's true. It's like, which one?
Right.
Honestly,
do you feel like there's, out of your tie of those 3, is there one that really resonates the most with you as number 1?
I would say eudaimonia.
Eudaimonia
is the one I resonate with the most, and they did place that as number 1 technically. So I would say they got it right. And just to define that, because
I know people listening like, what the heck is
what
eudaimonia?
Because that was my first thought as well. I had never heard of this word before I took it. And it answers the question, how much do I want my life to be organized around experiences that bring me pleasure and joy? And I think that that's true for me. Like, I think in anything that I do, I just want to be, I don't know if happy is the right word, maybe just content, fulfilled. Like, I don't want to do it if it's not ultimately bringing me that. And the way that the values bridge describes it, I think was really intelligent. It's because, or it's not that people who have a lower eudaimonia score don't want joy in their lives. They just might prioritize things like discipline or like other things more to get to where they want to be. And I don't know if I do have discipline, but at the same time, I also just prioritize like, girl, am I having fun? Like, am I enjoying my life? Is this, because I just think that at the end of the day, I want to look back at my life and not just see like a bunch of achievements that were empty. Did I actually enjoy myself? Did I get anything out of this while I was doing it? And I think I can see how that has guided my decisions throughout my entire life. Like, there's never been a time where someone has told me what to do if I didn't want to actually do it. Like, you know how people will be like, oh, my parents wanted me to study this.
Yes.
And like, I'm too afraid to go against it. Like, I come from a family of people in STEM. Like, my dad is an engineer, my mom is a nurse. Before that, I had a dentist in the family. Trying to think of other professions, but they were all pretty much like kind of in STEM, kind of in medicine, like. And I'm out the gate, I want to be in communications. Like, I want to be a communications girl. That people are like, oh, the majors don't make no money. They don't do this. They don't do that. And I was like, not my parents, people.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Because, you know, people, like, when you choose a major, they'll be like, oh, you going to choose that one? Are you sure? Like, and for me, at the top of my list was not, am I going to make money? It was, am I going to be happy? Because if I'm happy, I'll find a way to make the money. I'm like, y'all might be graduating with communications degrees and not making money, but somebody is. And I'll be that somebody. Like, I'll figure it out. But at the end of the day, I want my life to, I want to look around and feel like this is curated because Kyndall likes it. Not this is curated because it looks good on paper. But it actually doesn't bring me any, like, true inner peace, inner joy, inner happiness, inner anything.
I love that.
Yeah.
Eudaimonia
Taught me a new word.
Well, but do you feel like you are living in that truth? Do you feel like, I know, so the score also, I will, disclaimer for you guys listening, it gives you an authenticity gap, and the authenticity gap could be negative or positive or 0%. And so if it's negative, there are things in your life you might feel are lacking, is that it? And then if it's positive, that means that's a good thing.
Yeah, like you're in alignment with who you want to be.
Right. If it's 100%, like you're 100% in alignment with that.
No, because it's measuring the gap.
Okay.
So if it's 100%, then it's like 100% gap. If it's 0, there is no gap. Therefore,
you're 100% in your truth.
Yeah. It's like weird to think about it that way, but it's measuring the gap, not measuring if you're actually doing it.
Right.
So 100% would mean the gap is like wide. It's wide
very
open.
wide.
It's full.
You need to like reel it back in a little bit.
Yeah, 0 would mean you're perfect. So wherever you fall on that scale, it places you.
And I'm curious for so for my authenticity gap for affluence, I'm just going to read this. A 0% authenticity gap for affluence means you're fully living your desire for financial security, abundance, and the freedom it provides. You actively pursue, manage, and enjoy resources in a way that feels aligned with your deeper goals. Your commitment to building and sustaining wealth is exactly where you want it to be. So I guess that's a good thing. I guess. Like, girl, that's a good thing.
Yeah, it's a great thing. Did we explain that when you take the quiz, you first sit down and you answer questions about what you want your ideal life to be? Like, it prompts you to not think about any constraints or limiting beliefs. Just if you could live exactly how you want, what would that look like? Then it kind of pauses, gives you a second to gather yourself. Then it says, okay, now answer honestly and how you're living your day-to-day life now. And don't judge yourself, just be honest. And then it matches the two.
Gotcha.
So that's how we
measure that gap.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we did explain that. That's definitely really great to know, because
Yeah.
it's been a minute since I took it, but you took it more recently.
I just took it this morning. I took it when she sent it to me, but I couldn't find my results, and I low-key wanted to do it again just because I wanted to remember the process and do it again and see if anything changed. So it was nice to do it again. But I almost said in the beginning when you were like, oh, we linked it in the description, so just, I almost said, well, you can do it as you listen, but I honestly wouldn't.
No, don't. I would say just take a minute.
To yourself and
that's
really
why I said
do it.
Pause.
Yeah.
Come back to it, and then come back to us. Come back.
Yeah. But yeah, so I mean, was that your question, or like, I thought you were asking?
I think I just wanted to break down what the authenticity gap meant more so than anything, because it can be a little confusing. But I also feel like it makes more sense when you're actually able to sit down and read everything that it says too. So just take the quiz, y'all.
Yeah. I really love this.
Yeah, this was
so
so
neat. For example,
neat.
my eudaimonia gap is 16.1. So I guess that means like currently I do live in alignment with that value, but not fully. Like there's probably areas where I have to prioritize something else, which makes sense because I'm 24 years old. Like I can't prioritize just having a life full of things that make me happy. At some point you do have to choose to make harder decisions, to make those sacrifices, so that then I can have a life where it's like I wake up and I truly do what I want, which is kind of what you were saying with affluence in a way. Like it's the vessel to be able to have that freedom.
Yes.
That right now we might have to put in extra work so that we can have that, because we're not Nepo babies.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Not in this
we don't
lifetime.
Get that choice,
Maybe my kids, but not me.
But not me. But not me. So, yeah.
The life of a Nepo baby. Girl, that could be a whole nother. Actually, it can't be an episode because I can't even speak from that point of view.
To that, but
we could break it down. Though. We could do a case study.
We don't need no more case studies on Nepo babies.
Yeah, that's facts. We don't really need to know too much about them. But yeah.
So what was your second?
So my second was achievement. So let me go ahead and go to this definition for my girls. So achievement. It was a tie. I will read the definition for my achievement authenticity gap since it is negative. I read the definition for affluence since it was 0. And I guess that means if it's at 0, you're fully walking in that truth. So for me, achievement was ranked number 2. The definition basically is achievement reflects how much you seek visible success, with visible being key. It's not just about doing well, it's about being recognized for doing well. You want to be seen as one of the best, whether as a CEO, a nurse, a stay-at-home parent, or the town pickleball champion. While high achievement is common among athletes and business leaders, it also drives chefs, yogis, artists, and gardeners. It's not about what you do, it's about how much you strive to excel and how much you desire acknowledgement for that excellence. As a life organizing principle, achievement shapes how you prioritize progress, performance, and recognition. You may be keenly aware of this drive or not, but if achievement is a core value for you, it influences the way you evaluate opportunities, relationships, and even your sense of self-worth. You're always asking, am I moving forward? And if not, what can I do to change that? I definitely felt like that was me too. And I also think that that is one of my biggest opportunities, because I don't ever feel like I can just be. I always feel like I do need to be moving forward. I do feel like achievement is very important to me. Now, what I will say is like the visibility of that is something that can kind of be debated for me, but I do value recognition. Like I do value, if I put in really hard work, being recognized for that work that I put in, because I don't ever want to be walked over. I don't ever want someone to come in and take credit for the work that I definitely put in. I think that's really important to me, but I don't need like a standing ovation. You know what I'm saying? Like just oh, I really love that you did this. This looks great. Something. And I think that also for a lot of jobs and internships that I've had could be a contributing factor as to why I left, because I felt like I was putting in a lot of hard work, but I wasn't getting credit for it. And I don't like feeling like my effort is wasted ever. Like and it might not be wasted. Like, it might genuinely be contributing to that conversation or to that organization. But if you're not acknowledging that for me, then I'm going to have to leave, because I need someone who's going to acknowledge and value the work that I'm putting in. So I agree. And I always do feel like I have to be making progress. And I think I said this before, like the plant in every single area of my life. So that's why I said it's really hard to just be like, achievement is kind of just who I am and what I aspire to do. And I think that also comes just with the life of being affluent. So
yeah, makes sense. It like goes hand in hand.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? So yeah, I like that they said that they could see that for business owners, because I think it just made sense for the professions, like obviously athletes. I'd even say like entertainers. Like there's a certain level of visibility that you have to go places. You can't be amazing in your living room. No. Like you have to be willing to be in front of something, somebody, somewhere. So yeah, I see how like that could be a negative thing if you are only doing it for the external validation. Yeah. But I think the people who do that, it's kind of obvious. Like it kind of, they can be successful. Like there's plenty of examples of people who are just arrogant and their ego is just so big and that's why they're doing what they do. But I think it just shows. And for you, I think it's driven by more than just that. Like I wouldn't reduce it down to just visibility. Yeah. That's something that you need. Yeah. But you also, it is you. Like it's your passion. It's what there's a different energy. Yeah. When you're actually like walking in your truth versus when you're masking as something because you want hand claps. Yeah. You know? And it kind of ties to one of the other values. We'll get into that later. But when I was reading back through and I was reading each individual one, I could see how two of them work together, besides the first and the second one of affluence and achievement. I'm not even talking about affluence. I'm talking about another one, which will be the fourth one. But when I was reading both of those descriptions, they literally, in my opinion, worked hand in hand. Yeah. When it came to visibility, am I moving forward? Am I impacting? And things like that. Yeah. And this authenticity gap was negative. So I will get into that. Yeah, like she's like, what does this mean? What does it mean? Just Google it. So what my authenticity gap means, because it was negative 15%. It says, for you, achievement isn't just important, it's a core driver of your motivation, shaping how you set goals, measure progress, and define success. However, your negative authenticity gap suggests that the pursuit of success has taken up more space in your life than even you are comfortable with. Since this is a core value, an authenticity gap beyond negative 30% is worth reflecting on. When the game of achievement starts to feel like a relentless treadmill rather than a fulfilling pursuit, it's time to assess whether or where you can recalibrate. But for me, mine was under negative 30%. So it's just basically saying like, your achievement, I'm approaching the aspect where you might want to recalibrate because your pursuit of success might be more than you are able to really handle. Yeah. And I could see that too. No, and I was gonna say, because that I see that for you, and I just did this quick Google and it makes so much sense. It says this occurs when a certain value is over-indexed, meaning it's dominating your life to an unhealthy degree compared to what you actually desire. And we've had so many conversations recently where it's like, okay, I want to be successful. I want to have my business. I want to be doing I want to be multifaceted. Yeah. But it gets to a point where every single day the to-do list is far too long. Yeah. You're far too drained. Yes. You're working from 9 to basically 9, even further, wee hours of the night. We're cranking these Celsius to get it done. Yeah. And it's like, at what cost? Like at what point are you gonna just be like, this is too far? You know? Exactly. So I do see that. Yeah. And I won't say it's getting to a point where it's concerning, but it is something to take heed of, especially since I am young now and I can see that kind of taking over. But I think I am doing better at establishing processes that's more, how can we streamline this and make it still efficient and do a really, really good job, but it does not require 100% of my attention.
shout out to AI and automatic workflows, but I don't need my entire life to be AI, like
Yeah.
I was joking before, I'm not actually AI. I'm not cloned for real, but
She was trying to convince us that we don't know. We're not speaking to Stephanie.
Yeah, I was trying to tell
because
them
years ago, the
I
real
was
Stephanie
cloned.
went
Yeah.
to the Bahamas and cloned herself, and
Yeah.
now we're speaking to an AI
Yeah.
version of her.
Yeah.
And this is a normal conversation
Yeah.
with Stephanie just on.
I'm controlling the conversation from the Bahamas, but I'm in the Bahamas right now. They're gonna be like, what is wrong with this girl?
Yeah.
I just joke all day.
Stephanie play all day.
Yeah, literally.
That's your middle name. Yeah. LOL.
But yeah, that is my second one. But I do believe that achievement is a really driving factor in my life, and I do want to always be achieving something. I do feel like I'm meant for great things, and achievement is just one of those things that just comes with the territory. But there are areas of my life that can be reassessed as far as achievement goes, and we can really fine tune and hone that back into a place where it's healthy. It's not like it's unhealthy right now. I'm not saying that at all, but it can get to a point where if I don't work on it now, it will get unhealthy.
Yeah, you can just see the trajectory of something. And
exactly.
It's, always easy to correct than to react later on in life. So
exactly.
I'm 100% with you there. Mm-hmm. My second was beholderism. Beholderism. I looked up a quick definition. A personal value that measures how much you prioritize aesthetics, sensory harmony, and visual presentation in your daily life. And
yep. Kyndall to a T.
What can I say? I'm a Libra. Like
ladies.
But it's just me, and I feel like I've been that way for as long as I can remember. Yeah. Like I'm trying to think of a time when I wasn't like that, and it's hard. Yeah. And I think I joke and say I'm a Libra, and that's why I am the way that I am. I think that's a part of it. But I like that there was just something else, like another term that I could reference when I speak about what it means to me, because it's not really just about, like, I know we just talked about wellness and aesthetics, and it's like, okay, wellness is not just about like the matching set and looking cute. Like for me, it just goes deeper than that. It is, I like how they said just harmony. Yeah. And I feel like when my space is pretty, when I feel pretty, when I feel like my circumstances, like everything's just working in harmony, I just feel good, which goes back to the first value of just like feeling joyful. Yeah. Like, I liked the way that the quiz broke it down, because it said that it says the value of beholderism has stages of acceptance. At first, people tend to resist it when it shows up at the top because they think I'm not that vain and superficial. And they protest. But once you understand the value better, you can make peace with it. Yeah. And I don't know if I've ever wrestled with the fact that, like, yeah, I want nice things. I want a nice aesthetic. I have thought to myself, am I vain? Yeah. But I also don't care. Good. That's good. It didn't make me sad or mad or embarrassed to see this pop up, because I just feel like, I don't know, it's a value. It's an important value. For those who hold this value, aesthetic harmony is more than just preference. It's part of what makes life feel rich, ordered, and right. So it's just, to me, it's an art of how I curate my life. Like my entire life, I want it to feel like art. I want you to look at my home and see curated pieces from like different artists. Like I want to commission people to have artwork in my home. Like this is my ideal life. Commission people to have artwork in my home. I want like a sculpture somewhere on some crazy like mess. I'm trying to go to your mansion. Hello. I want like a piano that way I can just like, you just walk in, you just see a piano in the foyer. Like to me, it just, I want my inner world and my passions to be shown through how I curate everything around me. Like I want you to know me from seeing what I have going on. Even down to like my clothes. Like we talked about this. I want to stop leaning so much into fast fashion. Oh, I got somewhere to be, let me just No, like I want to be slowly over time developing a timeless closet that screams Kyndall. Yeah. So I don't really have a problem with beholderism being a top value, because to me it's literally just art. And I think that I'm a very artful and intentional person, if that makes sense. So I lean into it because I see more than just surface level vain aesthetics, and I see a way of living life that is, I don't know, it's nothing to be ashamed of.
I don't think so either.
Yeah.
And I think I've said that about you before. Like, everything you do is extremely calculated.
Yeah.
You're very particular about what you allow into your life. And I think that kind of goes into the beholderism a bit, because everything that you want in your life, you want it to be curated.
Yeah.
And intentional. And it needs to be something that either serves your joy or your peace or something along those lines. So I could 100% see how that's a value for you. And I think we say you're a Libra, but it also goes just beyond you being a Libra.
Yeah, like that's like, almost too surface level of an explanation. Exactly. You know? But I am surprised this one's not negative, because we've talked about perfectionism. I think it kind of feeds into that in a way, because I want things to look a certain way, be a certain way, and if it's not exactly that, I don't want anything to do with it. And for me, that takes it too far. Yeah. Like when I'm over critiquing things because I want it to look a certain way or feel a certain way, that's where I lean too much into perfectionism. But right now it's at 0, so I guess we'll 0% cook.
Authenticity gap, huh?
But yeah,
that's good though.
It says, I finally understand why I quit my job. The offices were a mess. I would quit my job if my office was a mess. I can't work in clutter. Yeah. Like I can't. My house is always clean. Like my friends will come to my house and see my room and they're like, oh, you clean up for me? No, it always baby, looks like this. The bed's always made. My clothes are never on the floor, because if I walk into that, I feel crazy. Yes. And if you ever see my room and I have old food dishes from dinner last night, my clothes haven't been put away, just know I'm probably mentally not in the best
we got to check on her.
Because like that's how I view my car, my room. If it's a mess, it's because I feel a mess. So when it's clean, I feel cleaner. And that's how I trick myself when I'm in like a rut. Yeah. Like, okay, first clean. Get up, take a shower. Yeah. Put a nice outfit on. Right. Like I can trick myself into feeling better because I know that's what makes me feel better, you know?
That's so important though. Yeah. I love the questions that or not the questions, but the statements that they say. You might be or often labeled as this. You might not agree with that, or you might live in that. Like for the achievement one, it was like you might be labeled as competitive, and you might have heard that all your life. And I have heard that I'm competitive. I am competitive, I do think, but it can be to a fault sometimes. Yeah. Because not everything needs to be a competition. But that's the authenticity gap. Yeah. The negative, that not everything needs to be a competition. But I love how it was like, you might feel vain. It said you might be labeled as vain or as someone of that nature, but that's not true. Yeah. And I mean, knowing you, I know you're not a vain person. Like you just really value the aesthetic.
Yeah, like, I don't want it to ever go too far where like you feel like I am just, oh, she's so vain, doesn't care about anything. Yeah. But how she looks and how I feel like people who know you know that's not the case. Yeah, there's a difference. Not like how it broke it down. That's why I wanted to have my computer and read it, because I'm like, I could try. Same. But I feel like the experts laid it out nicely. Try and paraphrase it, I'm gonna forget something. I'm so sorry. And especially for the people who feel like they're resonating with that specific value, I want to be able to give them like an actual definition exactly that they might see when they do it themselves, or they decide not to and be like, oh, yep, that's me right there. At least you can have something of source to like go and talk about, so I love it. Well, we actually have the same third one. I think we do.
Do we?
It's Cosmos.
Yeah. Okay, so Cosmos, interesting.
I have pulled up too if you ever want to reference.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you talk about it then.
Okay. Well, it says it's called the God value, and its Cosmos reflects how much you seek a life guided by the tenets of your religion or belief system. So that it says you may not attend religious services, pray daily, or study sacred text, but you hold an authentic desire to center your life around God.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think that's really, really, really important what they said there, because you might not be religiously centered, but you might be spiritually centered. You might have other things that center you besides religion, and I think that's really, really important, because I don't want anybody to feel pressure to conform to a certain belief.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I love that they labeled it cosmos, because it's like the universe, like whatever you believe
whatever
in,
it is that you believe
that you feel centers
you return to that often to ground you.
Exactly. And this is so interesting for us because yours is 100%, mine is 0.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I'm still wrapping my head around what those percentages mean, so I don't know what that means. I just know that they're on the opposite. I'm like, okay.
So wait, I want you to read, like, if you feel comfortable, like your authenticity gap.
When your authenticity gap exceeds 30%, it indicates the gap between your faith and daily life is widening beyond what feels comfortable. If it rises above 50, it's time to take a serious look at what's causing this disconnect and take steps to recenter your faith in a way that feels authentic and fulfilling. And I think that's what I was trying to say earlier. If it's 100%, like, the island is mad far.
Yeah.
And I think that's so true for me.
Yeah.
It's like I know in the back of my mind that I really want to be a more spiritually grounded person, but I think I'm on just a journey.
Yeah, it is
I'm just on a journey of returning to that. And now that I'm an adult, I say this, if it ever comes up, but when I was younger, my grandma had me in church, baby, every single week. Then I went to high school, kind of fell off, probably fell off around middle school. Then in high school, kind of just fell off. Like, I went off to college, went off to grad school, and life was just so busy all the time that it was like there were so many other things going on that I didn't really, like, keep the same practices. I'm like low-key checking in with, like, my faith, but not really. And now that I'm an adult and I think I just have a different set of values, I'm like, what is really going to be, what is guiding me, and what is the purpose of it all? Like, I feel like you need purpose, you need a belief in something bigger than yourself. And I spent a lot of those years just thinking about myself and how can I get this degree, how can I have the most experiences, have the most fun. But I'm also now at a point where that just can't be all life is, and I'm just wanting to be more, like I said, grounded in my faith, if that makes sense.
No, it does. It definitely does.
Even stuff like I purchased, like, my very first Bible, like, with my, like, as an adult last year. I go to church more often. I check in with, like, I bought us the astrology
daily planners, daily executive plan. We should link that.
We should link that. And just like learning more about astrology, learning more about my life path, learning more about
just all the ways you could be spiritually aligned outside of religion alone.
Because for me, I don't even know how to describe myself. Like,
I know.
I don't know how to describe myself, but I kind of pull from kind of a lot.
Me too.
And because a lot resonates with me. Like, I know how to, like, take something, and if it's working for me, it's working. If it's not, it's not. And I think that's part of what this journey is that I'm just not a closed-minded person. So it's hard for me to just say I'm this and nothing else. When there's so much to learn, there's so much to experience. And I kind of just allow life to be my experience, knowing that God has me. And God would want me to have that journey to then be more connected to him. You know what I mean?
I 100% completely feel you. And I think I was also having this realization on my trip to Greece this year, because Greek mythology there is huge, but they're also extremely Catholic. And for me, I was like, the duality, right? They believe in these myths. They have cities founded on the goddess of Athena, the goddess of Nike, but yet they also still truly deeply believe in the religious roots and aspects of their culture. And I thought that was really beautiful, because I feel like sometimes in the Western hemisphere, they're very much so all or nothing. Like you said, like, you're one, you're this, your faith is in God and in nothing else. Like, if you were talking about astrology, you're talking that devil talk. And it's like, I don't really believe that.
I don't really subscribe to it.
And I don't subscribe to it either, because after seeing, how they're living, mind you, in Greece, in all, I think, Orthodox Christian countries, but mainly in Greece, because I was there during Easter, the kids have 2 weeks out of school. 2 weeks for the Easter holiday. We don't even get a day off.
Yeah.
However, they want you to be so subscribed and so conformed to a religion and a subspecialty of that, whatever the denomination basically of it. But we don't even have a day to, we have Sabbath, we have Sunday, and that's it. You know?
It's crazy.
However, the kids got 2 weeks off of school.
Wow.
And so I'm just saying, like, I completely agree with you, because I also feel like I was definitely in a phase of just like trying to figure out what was for me. And I think for the longest time, I did feel like I had to choose, okay, it has to be Christianity and that's it. Okay, well, maybe not Christianity. Maybe it just has to be, you know, the mythology and that's it. But it's like, no, I think that we are on this earth for a reason. The universe is so vast. Why would there be all these different buckets to tap into if we weren't meant to tap into them?
Yeah.
And I think it's interesting just in general that there are so many buckets to tap into. I think it's a beautiful thing. I think astrology is something that is a beautiful thing to tap into. Clearly, it's something that has been studied for years, centuries. There are books written on it. There's philosophers who have talked about it. There's mythology, things that we don't even really understand. We haven't even dove into that have grounded people, like the ancient Greeks that have grounded their beliefs and how they lived their life, you know? And so for me, I feel like similar to you, like I was definitely a church kid. Like we were in church every Sunday. And then we got to middle school. What is up with middle school? It was a very all-consuming time, like let's be fair. But yeah, and then we kind of just stopped going.
Yeah, I just kind of stopped going.
Yeah, and then for high school though, my high school was Episcopalian. So we had chapel every Tuesday and every Friday. And then for the people who were boarding students like me, we had Vespers on Sunday. So that was 3 church services a week. And I will say I felt like that was pretty good for me because it still grounded me with everything else that was going on. But also when you're a teenager and there are people around you who are experimenting and doing other things, you also feel like you want to tap into those different buckets as well. Like I didn't want to go all in on being Episcopalian because I didn't come from Episcopalian background. I really am, I would say, non-denominational, because I can't say that I'm Catholic. I can't say that I'm Episcopalian. I can't say that I'm, you know, anything specifically. But it was I'm glad that I had that experience of being quote unquote forced to be in that sort of, I guess, environment so many times, because it definitely kept that in my life. It kept it as an anchor. It kept God and spiritual and Christianity as an anchor in my life. And even when I went to college and I graduated from high school and I kind of still didn't really go to a specific church or seek that out intentionally all the time, it still gave me something to lean back on. And I think when I graduated recently, I would say in like the past couple of years, that's something that I've been trying to tap back into. But I always feel like I've just been very in tune with the universe.
That's what I would say too.
Yeah.
It's never left me.
Yeah, exactly.
I've always felt grounded in some way.
Yes.
And in tune is the right word. In tune with something. Like
I don't know who, what, when, where, why.
You know? But I think now for me, it's about defining so that I can like fully sit in it and feel comfortable.
And walk in that.
And walk in it.
Yeah.
And I think just it being a little bit more of a question mark was bothering me now that I'm just more of an adult.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, like it comes with just having the freedom to learn.
Yeah.
And ask questions.
Yes.
And to better know you and your faith and your value system. Because that is something that when I was a kid, like, I don't know, I came from a family that I could ask questions. But like if I was going to, like, we had like, you know, vacation Bible school, like sometimes you would hear things and it's like I look, we have a question, but I'm not sure if I can ask said question because it's supposed to be just like this is what it is. And now you just have more freedom to be like, you can just explore more.
Yeah.
And I do appreciate that. But
same.
Yeah, I think for me right now, this season is more about really getting serious about tapping in. That way it can become more of a integrated part of my life.
Yes.
Versus something that sometimes I feel more, you know, in connected there. And then other times I feel a little bit more disconnected.
Yeah.
Especially during times where I think it's easy to lean on praying and faith and all the things in certain seasons, and then other seasons life gets hard, life gets busy, you're not as, I don't want that to be my story anymore. Like that's, it needs to be something that is a daily practice in my life, and I'm figuring out what that looks like for me. I'm figuring out the cadence of which I do want to go to church. Do I want to join somebody's church? What's the cadence of me taking time to like meditate, taking time to read about, I don't know, a horoscope. Like it's just like what is going to be my weekly, daily, monthly routine that upholds my spirituality. So I, you know, can definitely see how for both of us like Cosmos was up there, because it's just such, it's so clearly a major part of our life that even if we don't have it 100% figured out, I can tell that we have both come a long way with even just like speaking about it and like being comfortable and like this is who I am and this is what I believe.
I agree. I think that faith has like played a big part in like the past year of my life too. But I also feel like there are other buckets that have also played a big part. I also think it's one of those things that you tap into different buckets and you take what you want and you leave the rest. You take what you want over here and then you leave the rest. And not saying like you only take the good parts and you leave all the bad parts, because that's not what I'm saying at all. But it's more so you really understand what will work for you. If it doesn't work for you, if it doesn't resonate with you, then bye-bye, you know, then you move on to the next thing. But it's definitely something that needs to be, I would say, you have to figure out what you want. And I think for us, like Cosmos, is something that kind of grounds us and like we feel aligned in that way, just because I think the universe brought us together.
Oh, for sure.
I think there is a reason that our friendship exists and that we were meant to meet each other in this lifetime. That's just one example of Cosmos for me. Yeah. You know?
I look around in my entire life and I just think like
everything is divinely orchestrated.
Everything is literally like, I'm so serious. Like I get chills sometimes when I just think about my life, when I, not even just my life, but also just looking around, I see God in so many things. And I just see just the higher force, a higher presence. Like nothing to me is really accidental when I just look around.
I agree.
And to me, it's something that's so undeniable that, even at my most question mark confused, it never gave like, I have no belief in anything at all. Like it's never gone that far, because I can't look around and feel that way.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. I definitely see what you mean by that. I don't think faith has ever left me. Faith in anything.
Yeah.
I don't think I would ever have said in my life, I don't believe in nothing at all.
Yeah.
And I was even talking with my dad about this the other day, because I had recently seen Disclosure Day. Have you heard of Disclosure Day?
No.
It's a film by Steven Spielberg. It just came out, and it's basically just talking about people admitting aliens are real, which they've been telling us for a while. I mean, if you read the documents that the U.S. government has been releasing, do your own research.
I get spooked.
Yeah, I know it's a little spooky, but without spoiling it, because I don't want to spoil the movie for you, especially if you're planning on seeing it, I was really happy with the fact that there was a religious component of the film. Because I was talking to my dad about it, and I was just saying, like, I really love how he added that in there, because when something like this comes out, people start to question who and what they believe in. And with that being integrated into the film, it was acknowledging that. And it was, my dad was just basically saying, like, yeah, people always need something to believe in. They always need a higher power, whatever that might be, something to ground them. And when a revelation like aliens or something comes out, they start to question everything. And so I was really, really happy to see that they had a religious component of that film. If you haven't seen it, it's a really good movie. And I am not one for scary movies. It's not scary. It's PG-13. I literally asked Malik, I said, what's the rating on this movie before I go? He said PG-13 for your scary self. Like I said, okay, all right, I'll go. And it was so good, and I really appreciate how it was done. By the way, Steven Spielberg is the same person who did E.T. So, you know, he's been at this for a while. He's been trying to tell us something, but that's besides the point. That's besides the point. Anyway, but yeah, we always need something that grounds us, something to believe in, something that brings us back to ourselves or makes us feel whole again. That is not just another person. That is like a spiritual entity.
Exactly. So, my life will feel empty if I don't have that. Yeah. 100%.
Same.
So.
Wow, that was a like really powerful conversation on Cosmos.
It really was.
Like I really like the direction that went.
I know. Me too. And I'm actually really happy that we only had one the same.
Yeah.
Because we are so similar. Like I think so far we've had so many moments of just being like, girl, like yes. But I think what also makes us work is that there's a common link for something like Cosmos, but then there's so many other different values that we have that we just respect in one another. Like I really appreciate that.
Yeah, me too. And I love that it was 3 too.
Yeah.
It's like power in threes.
There is a power in threes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And it's Cosmos too, like the Holy Trinity. Yeah. Like, oh my gosh, all these things. So many, you know what? That could be a whole episode in itself. Let's just cut that part and make that an episode.
It really could though. It really could.
So my fourth one was radius. And so to break down what radius means, it is, as a value, radius is all about the magnitude of the systemic change you seek to create in your life. It reflects the intensity of your desire to make an impact, whether on a social, cultural, national, or even a global scale. A person with high radius may be driven to reform institutions or influence policy, but feel less drawn to one-on-one aid. Conversely, a high non-SIBI individual may dedicate their life to personal acts of service without seeking widespread change. Ultimately, these are distinct motivations, each shaping the way a person seeks to make an impact. So basically, there's radius and there's non-SIBI, which are two completely different values. But I could 100% see radius in me as well, which is what I was saying kind of ties to the achievement value that I had of making large scale change and impact. And I think like even radius is like one of the driving factors behind why I wanted to create a YouTube channel and why I wanted to focus on like personal development content and things of that nature, because I 100% believe in helping people and helping people make their lives better. But sometimes it can be exhausting to me to do that one person at a time. And I feel like if I can do it on a larger scale all at the same time, that for me would be more beneficial and make me feel a lot more accomplished, achievement, rather than doing that one person, 1 hour, because I feel like my energy could be used otherwise. If that makes sense.
That actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so my authenticity gap with this one was actually positive. It was 29.2%, which meant that an authenticity gap above 25% may signal the need for readjustments. If you're hold up. That's it.
That's all it said?
That's not all it said, but then it just jumped to 50%. I'm like, no, we're not at 50%.
Yeah.
Yeah. But basically, having a high impact on the world or humanity is deeply important to you. Radius is a core value, but your positive authenticity gap suggests you're not living that desire as fully as you'd like. Simply put, you want to be more involved in creating change. And I couldn't agree more. Yeah. I do. And I think something like the podcast has really helped me with that. But I have, for the longest time, been saying that I want to do things like public speaking. I want to speak with bigger groups of girls and, do more large scale impact. I definitely believe in like large scale impact, and I felt like that really resonated with me. And it honestly tied into like all of the other values that I had when it came to like affluence, when it came to achievement, even Cosmos. Like I do believe it all tied in together. And so when I was reading, because you read radius and you're like, okay, now what is that supposed to mean? Because radius could be a lot of things.
Now I get it.
But now I get it, right? Like your radius affects a large amount of people.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I feel like people have always told me like you've said, like even the first episode, like when you walk into a room.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I think you're like such a good person that you're just well positioned to do what you want to do. You have that type of demeanor, that personality, and then when you speak, you know how to word things.
Yeah.
You know how to get a message across.
Oh my gosh, that's like, so crazy that you say that.
Why?
Okay, so do you remember when I was telling you with my wellness coach, Aset, I was talking about how she makes these amazing journal prompts. And I like to type because I feel like I could get my thoughts out faster if I type rather than if I write or if I speak. But she was saying your power is in your blue chakra, which is your communication. The way you can communicate words effectively is very profound and it has an impact. Like when you speak, it has a actual impact on people. And so the fact that you say that is like really crazy.
I remember, but it's true. It's super true. So I think that all of your values, it just screams you. Like, just, you know, long story short, I can see exactly how you got those results. But I think it's going to be fulfilling for you because, you are very much in a position and you have the resources to do what you want to do with your life, you know?
It's just about being intentional and walking in that. Because I think for a long time, I felt a little bit of like almost shame around a couple of things, like especially when it came to affluence, because I feel like I didn't come from that background. So it's almost like people being like, oh, who do you think you are? Or what makes you think that you deserve that more than anybody else? Or, you know, things of that nature, especially when it comes to money. Money is just such a tricky subject. Like, I even saw this short today on YouTube about this girl, and she was like, you should never tell people how much you make. You should never tell people how much you're saving. And I'm like, why? Like, I feel like that gives you leverage in situations. I mean, of course, be strategic. Don't just go shouting to everybody how much you make. But like, I feel like conversations around money are incredibly important. And if we gatekeep that all the time, how are we ever going to move forward as a society, as women, especially if we don't talk about it? And I know Emma Grede has said stuff about this before, about how women are scared to speak about money at a dinner table. Meanwhile, the men at the table across the corner in the corner of the steakhouse are talking about stocks, investments, how much they have in their portfolio, what piece of land they just bought for how much XYZ, you know? But we're scared to even bring it up because we don't want to feel shame or embarrassment for either making too much or for making too little, you know? So it's just one of those things that I felt for the longest time I just kind of had to get over. And I feel like now, just like the older that I get, the more that I just really stop caring. Like,
that's one of the beautiful things about aging, that they tell you. They're like, you get to a point where you just do not care.
I don't. I just want to live the life that I want to live, and I want to make the impact that I want to make. I want to feel fulfilled. I want to feel happy, and I want to feel like I'm driving a life of impact and change while I'm doing it. And radius, affluence, achievement, and cosmos, because the universe is helping guide me on that path. It's putting me in positions to be able to do those things. And the people in my life like you who are able to help me convey that message to do it. So
it's beautiful.
Wow.
No, genuinely. Like, I know that sounded really corny, but it really is to me. And that's who came to mind too when you were talking about money, is Emma Grede, because that's something that I'm personally learning. And I don't know if it's shame, more so like, for me, it's just so taboo. Like, I didn't grow up with parents that told me how much they made. Like, I just knew, okay, this is our life, whatever. And just a general like sense of unawareness to, I mean, of course, when you're a kid, you're not like, you don't know, like,
like, I'm not 7, like, hey, Mom, how much do you make?
You know what I mean? But even as you get older, you're just living life. But then you become aware of the world, for real, the economy, and like, you know, the ups and downs.
And for real.
Everything that comes with adulting, pretty much. And I just don't think that I talk about it because, again, I just never have. And that, I think it was a podcast where she mentioned, like, okay, well, women aren't talking, but men are. I was like, that's so true. Like, why do I feel like it's weird if I was to come, I would just never come up to you and be like, Steph, yo, how much, so when you are saying that you're working with XYZ, like, how much are they paying you? Because I'm like, that's not really my business. Like, I
would tell you.
I know you would. But something in my mind is just like, I don't know. I think the only thing my parents ever said about that was, oh, you don't ask someone how much they make, you know, like, you don't. So that's just what I thought, like, the rule was. I think that most people are taught, like, it's rude to go into someone's apartment and be like, so how much y'all pay for rent here? And people have asked me who are more brave. And it's not like I don't want to tell them, but then I find myself hesitating because I'm like, am I sharing too much? You know, but it's like salaries, getting paid, paying your rent, making money, surviving, are all things like everyone has to do.
True.
So it's a very human experience. And you're right, not talking about it is holding us back. Because I saw this, I don't remember who was saying it, but I saw this creator, I think she's a public speaker, say that when she goes to events, she asks people how much she makes. Or how much they got paid to speak. And she said for the most part people will say, but some people are like, oh, I don't want to share. Like, but at the end of the day, it helps people because she'll be like, oh, if I got paid 1,000 and you got paid 700,
right? That helps
the
give them leverage.
You know, okay, I could actually have been asking for 1,000 here when otherwise you wouldn't have known. So for me, it's not something that I'm 100% comfortable with. Like, there's certain questions and conversations around money that I still don't want to have.
Yeah.
But at least now I'm aware that that's something that's limiting me, so that I can continue to do the work to become more comfortable, because I do want to be a person that is wealthy.
Yeah.
Because of how I grew up, I don't want to take steps backwards.
Right.
I want to create a life for my kids that I feel like I had, and then take it a step further. And then I want to, I don't know, I think when I speak about money, there's just so many things I want to do, but at the core of it all, it's just freedom.
Yes.
And I think we have that in common.
Yeah.
But there is no way to really get to that if I'm so hush-hush about it all.
Right.
And I think I can just do it in a vacuum, especially when there's so much that I don't know. Like, I think my parents set me up very nicely, but also they were figuring it out for the first time themselves. They are not financial advisors.
Exactly.
Like, if you just don't know what you don't know, basically. And I think more transparent conversations would really be beneficial for us all, but especially women, and especially for the age that we are now, because a lot of people have regrets when they get older. I wish I had done this, or if only I had known this. We read a really great book. What was it?
The Psychology of Money.
Not that.
Or are you
one.
talking about the Black Girl's Guide to Financial Freedom?
Yeah, the Black Girl's Guide to Financial Freedom.
Good book.
It was a good book. And I think the thing that I loved the most about it was that it was such a good foundation.
Yeah.
For if you genuinely had no one ever break down to you, like student loans, car loans, how to retire by the time, what do you call it? Like FIRE, where it's like you retire by 30 or something. If you've never even heard of that concept, like, it was such a good book that I would hand to like my little sister who's 10, just so she can start thinking about that. Because if I had that when I was 10, I would have made different choices. 100%. Like,
down to where I even went to school, like what kind of car I wanted to get, all that kind of stuff.
My mom has like set up a Roth IRA for my sister, or is it a?
I think
it's a Roth IRA for my sister, and I'm like, wow, where was that when I was? Where was that when I was?
What about up? Me?
You know, but like, she's just like, I just am older now, and I, you know, when that was created in like the 1990s.
Yeah, and I was literally just about to say, like, you know, so we found out that it was a relatively young concept when we were kids.
It's such a young concept. So now that she knows, she's doing better for my sister. But I just think that that's so beautiful, that when you know, you do better. Yeah. So now that my sister has that, and then she has me who can tell her more about these things before she even hits college. Yeah. Versus me, like, I didn't have an older sister or an older sibling that had been to college before me, figuring it out more so on my own. It's just having conversations and being transparent will get you a lot further than trying to figure it out yourself. Yes. Even if you think you have nothing to learn, yes, you do. Right. You know?
Very, very true.
No, that was a tangent.
No, it's okay though, because like, you're still impacting. It might not be your children, but that's still the younger generation that you're able to make an impact on. Right. And that will go for generations to come, children or not. So yeah, it's a very powerful subject, and I can understand the hesitancy, because you have to get comfortable with it first. Yeah. Like, I definitely needed to address money wounds before I could even move forward with anything else financial. Like, yeah, there was a lot of shame for a long time, but once I got past that, then it was just, how do we move forward? Literally, how do we move forward? And I can see, I talked, like I said before, about my inner teen. Like, she played a big role in, I feel like, a lot of the principles that I believe and value in today. So love the tangent. Yeah. That's what we're here for. This is the let me walk you out tangent.
Let me walk you out. All right.
So what's your fourth one?
Is family centrism. And
we just talked about your fam.
We did just talk about my family. And what's interesting about this one is when I first did the quiz, when you sent it last year, I remember this wasn't one of them. Like, I do remember the other three being there, but this one was not there. And I want to go back and find, now that I know what emo is attached to, I probably could. But I want to go back and find what it was originally, but I'll just tell you later. Yeah. But family centrism is the role that you want family to play in your life. That is how central you want their influence to be in shaping your decisions and actions, both professional and personal. And I was telling you before we started rolling that I know why this one popped up, because since moving home, it has just it's made me remember like who I am, where I come from, and what I do it all for. At the end of the day, it's my family.
Yeah.
Like it's my family has been so pivotal in just me being as confident, as happy, as fulfilled as I am. And if I was to take away other things in my life, all right. But if I took away my family, like I'm not sure what I would do.
Yeah.
And I just want to create a community with them that's even deeper and stronger and like just more close knit.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize how important that was to me because growing up, family's family. Like we are together, we have reunions, we go to each other's houses, but it all was just so natural. It was just like, yeah, like this is what we do. And then going off to college, I feel like I was away for like years. Like once I went to Howard, then immediately went to LA.
Yeah.
It was like I wasn't, every time I would pop back in to check in, things were so different.
Yes.
Because I had a little sister. She was born when I was in high school, and kids develop quickly. So when I would come home for like Christmases and Thanksgivings and for the summer, she'd be like way taller. She is learning new things, has a whole new set of friends. And I'm like, wasn't around for a lot of it to see it in the flesh. Mm-hmm. And it started to low-key bother me in the background. I was just like, time with your family is just so precious.
It is.
My sister and then like my parents are getting older. It's just something that I just hadn't quite stopped thinking about towards the end of when I was living on the West Coast. Mm-hmm. And coming home, although I was sad to be leaving LA because I don't know if I was 100% like set in that. I was like, but what if? I kept saying to people, I'm so happy I get to go home because I get to be around my family and my friends who I've grown up with, and I feel like I'm so disconnected from them at times because I get quick pop-ins and check-ins on the phone, but that's not the same thing as being there with you guys like day in, day out, right?
Yeah.
But I've heard people talk about the trade-offs you have to make in life. It's like, do I move, let's say you're from a small town. Do I move away from this small town to go chase my like big girl dreams in the city? But then knowing that like mom and dad are getting old on a farm in like, I don't know, like Idaho.
Old on a farm.
They're just old on the farm, and I'm missing maybe my last moments with them, you know? And that's something that people deal with all the time. And I did not realize how much of a decision I was gonna have to make long term of, I'm such an independent person. I'll get up and do anything, go anywhere, and I don't have the fear of like, oh, I'm by myself. I genuinely can be alone, and I do love it. So knowing that and knowing that I would have been comfortable living in LA for years and just checking with my family, knowing that I'm that type of person, but also the type of person that like I'm not comfortable with my sister feeling like she has a sister but not feeling close to her, because it's like, well, I do have a sister but she lives over there and we don't really see each other a lot. She comes home. That wasn't a narrative I was okay with either. So I don't know, since coming home and just living with my parents, living with my dad, being at home closer to my mom, being able to see them more often, my values have shifted. And we've spoken about how I still want to take another move at some point in my life. Before, it was just do that because I really want to be like, I really want to move to New York. I really want to be in the city where everything happens. I feel like my career will go so many places. I will meet so many people. I will be able to, as a person who loves art, who loves fashion, who loves just expression of all types, New York obviously is just like, it's just the playground for everyone to be themselves. And I feel like I would be so happy there. But now there's a part of me that's like, how am I going to make sure that my family is a part of that routine? Versus before I was just thinking, oh, they'll be there. It'll be good. I'm starting to realize how short life is and how I'm not going to miss moments with my family for anything. So even if I do move again, they will be a better part of my routine than they were when I was living other places. And I was always calling them, but something about it still felt a little bit disconnected, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And so how I do it now, like my authenticity gap was 100, and it says you have a strong desire to put family at the center of your life, but it's not happening as much as you'd like. And I do agree. I think it's so easy to just get so busy in your adult life and you forget your mom's house is down the street. I'll call my mom because we talk every day. So it feels like enough. But I'll be like, wait, like the last time I was over there was 3 weeks ago, you know? And so this is something that me and my therapist have been talking about. It's like, all right, how are we going to schedule some time? Like I've told you that you've influenced me, because this idea of like scheduling time, it sounds silly, but even you telling me like, oh, my family and I, we do dinner like once a month now.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, that's something that I could integrate, because everybody has such busy lives.
Yeah, it's not just you. Like you're feeling guilt because you feel like it's just you,
It's
but
just
it's
me,
not.
but it's not. It's literally everyone, and no one's taking offense, like,
right,
because we understand.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we have to just get more intentional. Like, you know how it's a joke that when you grow up, there's all these family reunions, and then like one person dies, and then they all just stop because that one person was responsible for the organization of it all. Like usually like the matriarch or something.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's like when I'm looking around at me and my cousins, we loved having someone's house to go over to and have a pool party. We loved having this. But I'm talking to them now like, y'all, if we don't step up, there will be no more. Like, it's us
we're
now.
The next generation of people,
we're
you know?
them. Yeah. So I think I just want to have more healthy practices with just hanging out with all of my family. Like, you know, Lauren. Lauren is my cousin. We went out to brunch not too long ago, and we were just like, girl, like we're both grown now. We have a car.
Yeah.
Like we don't have to just see each other only at Christmas. Girl, we could link up anytime in any place and do anything. And I just appreciate having a family that I love on both sides, and I want to make sure that I cherish them while I have them.
Yeah.
Like take every opportunity to be with them, because I don't know, it's not like I didn't know that family was important to me, but now I'm really knowing that like this is, you know, I think it's just such a central part of my life, and I really want to embrace that.
Yeah. Last year, when you took it, where were you? Were you here in the city, or were you back in LA?
I was here. Yeah. I was here, and I think some of my answers were still the same. I kind of had some of the same thoughts, but I think they just got stronger to the point of kicking something else off the list. Like I want to go back and look at what that list was, and we'll do it later.
Yeah.
But it's definitely just gotten a lot stronger. But I've really loved it. Like I've been spending so much more intentional time with all of my family. Yeah. And I'm like, I really love y'all.
Yeah, seriously. So
it's just been such a big part of my life that has made me so fulfilled that I'm grateful for.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah.
I love that. And I love the effort that you genuinely make every single week, month, day with your family, and I know that they can feel that too. I mean, like even with you just living with your dad, like making the decision to live with your dad this time, and then having to make the effort to see family with your mom, and so being able to balance both sides of that, because you had a choice. Like you had a choice this time, or last time.
Right. Yeah.
But that was really beautiful.
Yeah, I just did not expect to love living at home that much. And being that close to family again was just so, I don't know. It was just what I needed at the time.
Yeah, really.
In the time of, I was just so confused and so figuring it all out. Yeah. Having that it was just such a good safety net for me that I am realizing that's such a big value for me, and not even just the family I have, but the family I want to create.
Yeah.
I think about that. Like, what kind of mom do I want to be? What kind of sister? What kind of mentor? It doesn't even have to be like blood family. Like, I consider you my family. What type of person do I want to be to everyone that I consider like my close core unit, my family in a way? And I wouldn't want to be with someone whose value wasn't family. Like, then I want to link up with someone who goes that hard for family, because I want to then create that for like the future generation. And I think that's what ties all of these values, is it helped me learn more about myself, because I do think when I look at all of them, I do see me. And I see how they all do kind of go hand in hand. But then I also see that this is, again, how I should be showing up in the world, how I should say no to things that don't align with this and feel confident in that, because there is no question mark. It's just like, this is who I am, and this is what I believe in, and we can be confident in that. And then I should seek out people who uplift that, support that. Like, I just enjoyed this quiz because it might have been stuff I knew in the back of my mind,
right?
But again, to see it written out that way,
bringing it to the forefront,
was just powerful.
Yeah, it really was.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess we can walk out with that.
That
right?
is what we're walking out with.
That was, I couldn't even agree more. I think that family centrism is definitely on mine. It's on there. It's not in the top four because I think right now, in this point in my life, in the point that I took the quiz, I'm so focused on building. And then the family comes in. Not saying that, like, my family right now is not important, because
no,
they
because
are.
you're a family girl.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
Don't get it wrong. But that's what I did like about the fact that mine changed like that.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, yeah, when you take a quiz and you feel like that's your identity. Like, that's it.
ENFJ.
Yep, stamped it, and it's not going to change. That's not how life works. So I appreciated that crept up into my top 4 because, like, when I took it last year, was I thinking about family? Yes. Do I love my family? Yes. But right now, that is a big thing for me.
Yeah.
So I see what you mean by, like, there's seasons of your life,
right,
where these 4 is like what I'm. You don't change as a person entirely.
Right. No. Just what you focus on.
But just what you're focusing on.
Yeah, exactly. And exactly. I think, like, right now I'm really focused on building, and that building will sustain what I'm creating for the family that I'm looking to create, and the current family that I do have, to be able to take care of them. But at the forefront, in order for me to truly feel like I'm doing them justice, I need to be able to build and to create the life that I want, so that they can be sustained by that too.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I love everything that you said about family, though. And I can 100% see that for you. And I think that you do a beautiful job of blending all of your worlds, like mom, dad, sister, brother, everything. And
because I got, like, I'm the definition of blend. Because my parents are divorced. They both got remarried. So I technically have 4 families. To me, that's always why this is a different conversation, and it's going to take a different, so I'm not going to go too deeply into it, but I've always just had such an expanded view of love and family, just coming from a family that has broken up, to then find something that was even bigger and better and more fulfilling for both parties, and to see the love in my life just feel extended, like to have my stepdad's family embrace me, now to have another piece of family adding into it, it just feels like love is expanding, and everyone gets along. Like, I don't really have a messy family. Like, my mom and my dad talk to each other if it's about me, and there's no bad blood. So I just think that's why, no matter what the family looks like, I go hard for it.
Yeah, it's healthy.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what it should be. That's exactly what it should be. Oh, that just warms my heart.
Oh. I loved this conversation.
No, this was such a great episode. Oh
my gosh.
What should the emoji be, like, that they comment?
Is there a bridge emoji?
Is there a bridge? If
there's a bridge, there probably is one. Because if there's a bridge, I like that one.
Me too.
Just because value bridges, and then we're connecting our values and what we want.
There's a bridge.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a portrait.
Comment that with the stars in the back. Cosmos.
Love it.
All right.
I would show you, but, like, you can't really see that. Just type in bridge, and it's so one. Thanks to iPhone, that does, like, it highlights the emoji for you.
Yeah.
But it looks like the San Francisco Bridge. It's dark. It's got the stars. Comment bridge. Okay.
Yeah.
So to walk out, I guess. Our walkout is just basically take this quiz.
Yeah.
If you feel like you want to take the quiz, it's linked in the description. We highly recommend you take it, though.
Yeah, the quiz was helpful. Yeah. It's a good guide to get you started thinking about it.
Yes.
But of course, you don't need a quiz to tell you your values. Yeah, but just get clear on what your values are.
Get clear.
And that's gonna help so much. With just knowing yourself and knowing what you want out of life.
And if you do have authenticity gaps, like, what are some of the ways that you can close those gaps if they are lacking and, like, making you feel like you're not truly aligned with that? And how can you bridge those gaps, pun intended, to make you feel like you're living a more fulfilled and aligned life? Maybe journal on that, sit on that for a couple days, weeks, months, whatever, how long it takes for you. But either way, this kind of stuff is here for you to truly feel like you can create the life that you want to live. And you can. It's just about believing that you can, and bridging the gaps, once again, between where you are currently and where you want to be, and what do you have to do to make that mesh together. And so, yeah, that's what we want you to walk out with. This has been such a beautiful conversation. We really hope that you got something from today, even if it was just listening to us talk about it. And maybe you had some of the same values that we did that popped up on our quiz, which would be cool.
Yeah.
So definitely comment that bridge emoji. If you have a Black business that you would like to spotlight, please, y'all, please fill out that form. We really want to be able to shout you out, especially if you're doing something phenomenal, amazing, and preferably, like we said, in the Atlanta area. But we are not biased, okay? We tap into all different. We travel over here. We got passports, so let us know.
You could be anywhere, any continent,
you could be anywhere in the world,
any time zone,
okay?
And you can fill it out.
Exactly. And same with the let me help you out topic request form. So if you have any topics or anything that you want us to talk about on the podcast, please, like, we'll have a conversation. We
started to get some submissions, so we'll be incorporating those. So we're excited to add that segment. Same. But for sure, fill out that form.
Definitely. But other than that, we've been yapping as we do.
No less.
So other than that, we love you so much, and we will definitely see you in the next episode.
See y'all later.
Bye. Bye.